Do you think the new combat update is coming out? If yes, then when? This is a really good question we've been asking for literally over a year now since the last combat update snapshot, but I have some good news. We finally have the light at the end of the tunnel, because here is confirmation from Olraf on Discord saying he's very excited to pick up work on the combat snapshots, and he's had a few talks on it with Jeb, and he thinks there's definitely more they can do there. He's really excited to work on it together with the community to make it the best it can be, and seriously, I cannot wait for these new combat mechanics. I know some people are worried about having a cooldown and all these other sorts of small downsides, but to me, just having snowballs stacked to 64, I don't know why they don't already, or having stackable potions, or most importantly of all, having the offhand slot that works the same on Bedrock and Java, I don't understand why it can only hold maps and arrows and totems on dying. I wish it could hold everything and it was fully useful, and the Combat Update V2 will offer that. However, it's not just Olraf working on it, in case you're curious. It does sound like that from what I said earlier, but someone tweeted this in response to CubFan135, who was asking about it, and then we got a response from King B Dogs himself saying it wouldn't just be Olraf working on this, and it isn't going to be anytime soon. The only information that is relevant is that the gameplay design team, which is what Olraf works on, will be taking over the combat snapshot work at some point, but no ETA on when that will happen. So it sounds as though that it's not even directly been taken over yet, but at some point very soon, the gameplay design team, maybe when they're done working on 1.19, the wild update, will be taking over work on the combat update, and this is something that is a good piece of news, because let's be honest, Jeb was working on the combat update snapshots almost exclusively by himself, which is great when it, you're thinking like, Jeb, yeah, it's one of the key guys, I'm glad they're doing that, but realistically, he has so many other responsibilities at Mojang that maybe doing it himself isn't as good of an idea as having, like a whole Minecraft development team. If only there was like a descriptive phrase that could describe the people who work on Minecraft, like a name for the company that could be in charge of that, like a Mojang if I was to throw one out there. It's exciting to hear that they're working on the combat snapshot as a whole, but it's not the only question we've had this past week, because obviously, you might have heard about the exciting new Minecraft feature, because as Orgando says, in the latest betas, frogs could eat goats. Is that a bug or an intended feature? And man, there is 3 typos in this comment. But to give some follow-up on what might be Minecraft's most hilarious accidental feature, again, gonna call it an accidental feature, the frogs ate goats. It was hilarious to look at, just a pile of goats slowly being eaten by frogs. But to answer your question, sadly, it looked as though for a bit, as though it might have just been a unintentional feature, because the bug tracker said that it was a bug, but then the mod responsible for the thread said that until Mojang decides, it might not be a bug or not. But then the latest beta, which came out just this last week, did confirm that sadly, it is just a bug. And welcome to Q&A Saturday. Sometimes we have good news, sometimes we have bad news, but here's an interesting piece of news that is neither good nor bad, because as you can see, Wacky Magic asks, they added some new parity changes to the latest beta. What will you do when they finally add Big Salmon to Java? If you haven't already heard, a really interesting change, which probably should have been added a long time ago, but it's cool to see anyway, is that finally you can repair iron golems on Bedrock using the iron ingots like you could on the Java edition. It's one of those cool little things. They've made quite a few similar parity changes, and so it's only a matter of time until Java gets the humongous salmon we all know that they deserve. And yeah, I've spoken to a few people who work on the gameplay team, and they're like, yeah, I mean, technically speaking, Big Salmon is the more correct salmon. So the good news is they're not going to make parity onto Bedrock by removing our salmon. However, I think when it comes to the list of parity changes that need to be made, I don't think it is the absolute highest priority to make Big Salmon. I would love to see Big Salmon, and only on Bedrock Edition. There are salmon, damn it, Java players. You have enough exclusives like building above the nether roof and whatever you call that redstone stuff. Do you have to take away my salmon? No, you don't. I'm keeping the big salmon and you're not having them back. This is a divorce and you're losing it. Speaking of things that you might lose, do you think they'll make an easier way to get the pearlescent lights? Because right now it seems like a big grind for a light. And yeah, it is totally true. If you don't know, in the latest Bedrock beta, still not on Java. There has not been a snapshot yet this year, and it might not be a while because they cancelled Minecraft Now this last week. If you haven't heard about that, by the way, because of, I don't know, social distancing, safety, Omicron variant, all those words, they cancelled the second ever Minecraft Now, or they delayed the second ever Minecraft Now so that it would take place at the same time as the third Minecraft Now, which is a pretty bad ratio. Right now they've cancelled 50% of those, and so we're not seeing the next 1.19 snapshots so soon, but instead we saw them in the Bedrock beta, these brand new Froglights, and they're really great because you can use them, like David Fries has used them, to make your your Wordle guesses. Yeah, you think you're safe from Wordle content? Right here in the middle of a Minecraft video, let's talk about what this word must have been. I mean, he got it in 3 out of 6 guesses, which is pretty impressive. That's the same I did. And it seems as though he also goes with the strategy of taking letters, you know, like taking the second guess and using it to guess more letters rather than just trying over and over again with the same one. And that leads to some good success. Anyway, this is the new Froglight block used to make Wordle, but in Minecraft. And your question that you're asking is, why is it so hard to get, and will they make it easier? And honestly, my reaction was the same. When I learned about Froglight, which is gotten, by the way, by having a frog eating a magma cube, a tiny magma cube specifically, that seems way too hard to do to any large level. But the thing about the Minecraft community is no matter how hard you make a feature sound, again, frogs literally have to eat a mob that spawns in another dimension in tiny form that when it's in big form can probably kill the frog. And so, or I guess realistically it wouldn't try to, but it could if it wanted to. So that sounds really, really tricky. But the truth is we've seen all sorts of farms from all sorts of people. Even the Minecraft wiki page for it shows how, like, yeah, all you really need is like an enclosed space and a magma cube spawner. And here's the interesting thing. 1.16, if you weren't checking, added for the first time natural magma cube spawners to the game. So if you want to prepare for 1.19, consider finding your nearest bastion that specifically has this magma room. I think I do have one like that, and turn it into a frog farm, because that's what the Nether should be from now on. I think it's cute. I'm definitely, it's going to be one of the few farms I'm actually going to make, because doing the Froglight thing by hand is going to be so disastrously hard compared to setting up a farm. And personally, I think that's a downside. I think they should make it easier for that reason alone. But like with anything Minecraft, you're seeing at the beginning of a snapshot, they've got a whole half a year or so to make changes, and like other features are going to come out, and it's all going to make sense, presumably. So we got a long time until we really have to, you know, pressure Mojang or say anything about like, hey, have you considered making this easier? Speaking of making things easier, I put up a video I was pretty proud of this week, 9 controversial Minecraft opinions. I mean, in retrospect, I think I was a bit heavy-handed with some of them, but that's the point, to be a little bit inflammatory. Like, I think I went a bit too far on how much I hate the whole creative thing and like people switching back and forth, but that's a thing that's besides the point, because this question, this response came in from Apollo Wolf, who gave me praise and said, this was a good video, and that made me feel good. And you know what the interesting thing about reading comments is, because I do it so much to gather comments for Q&A Saturday, is sometimes you get a comment like this, where you're like, oh, thank you, and then you get a comment like this one, that's like, when you realize these opinions don't matter at all, because no Minecraft dev will ever care enough to cater to a random YouTuber. And I think you're right, that no Minecraft developers cater to random Minecraft YouTubers. Like, they're not going to say, I don't care what I think is right, but this is there. But I think one of these small forms of like soft power that YouTubers can have if you're, you know, trying to cater your video to the widest possible audience, you're actually trying to explain in the best and reasonable way possible, is that, you know, some people might look at that and at least have it up for discussion. I don't expect anything I say in a video to change Minecraft forever, especially not the controversial opinions video, but I think that an interesting thing is like just having the conversation be there is sometimes, you know, useful enough by itself. I think that when people complain about things, it almost, you know, when someone yells at you about your opinion, you harden into that opinion, you go, no, I like my opinion more. But if you just go, yeah, here's my thoughts and here's how that can improve, I think you have a lot more success in actually changing people's minds. And so that's why in these YouTube videos I yell at creative players, do you really think you need that many diamond blocks? You don't need that many diamond blocks. You're wrong. You should feel wrong. And speaking of feeling wrong, the next comment here comes in on... I get one of these, every time I scroll through the comments, I find at least one of these. This is someone commenting on my Christian Minecraft server video saying, you're wrong. People should believe in Jesus in Minecraft. They should not believe in you. And I am so confused with the idea of like, how do you believe in Jesus in Minecraft? And then I think to myself, you know what, let's not do this. You know, one of my big mistake videos, I think, was making a video about Christian Minecraft server and not being more explicit about that it was very tongue-in-cheek. Because yeah, like some people might be offended if they're going into that expecting a very real lecture about Christianity. But I think if you go into a Minecraft video expecting Minecraft Christianity, maybe you're in the wrong place. Speaking of people being in the wrong place, Shabor asks, IBX Toycat's mum, what do you do for a living? IBX Toycat, talk about controversial topics. Honestly, that is true to a certain extent. I do love a good bit of controversy. But it's funny because I wanted to address the underlying thing below this comment, which is that, yeah, when I talk about what I do for a living, I have to cater it slightly differently to everyone. I just got my forms back from the hospital. I'll send this to Harrison, actually, so you can see this on screen. I don't remember saying it, but when I went to the hospital for my e-scooter injuries, which is such a dumb thing to read on an official hospital document, but when I went to the hospital, they just put me down as a desk worker, and it's like, yeah, I like to be vague about my job as much as possible. If I'm ever at like a border situation, they're like, so what do you do? Video work. I work with videos every day, you know, like editing and advertising, you know, there's a lot of stuff. You don't need to know about it right now. So when it comes to family, at first, I was just like, yeah, I make videos of the game. You know, you don't worry about it too much. Like, I didn't want anyone to look at it. And so, I think within my family, I mentioned this before that it's like true in like certain friend circles, but it's true in certain family circles where they're like, oh yeah, so you make the videos for the kids, right? And for most of my family, I just lean into that. If someone really wants to dive into it, I'm like, yeah, I teach people how to play Minecraft. And that's not entirely true either, is it really? I mean, how much Minecraft are you really learning from my videos? It should be a lot more. I should make a big video of things you didn't know about Minecraft. Been a long time since we've done one of those, huh? But I'm like, you know, if it's like, I've got an uncle who actually does actively watch the second channel, and my brother occasionally watches one, but he always comes at me with some like backhanded compliment, like, wow, it sounds like you just watched a better video than yours, and now you're regurgitating it slowly. And like, you know, like, it's funny. Like, actually, he's never gonna watch this random Q&A, but I have a brother who like insists that I have a script for the second channel videos. He's like, there's no way you can do that without like a page of notes next to you. And to me, that's the biggest compliment in the world. Someone saying it's impossible to be where you are without cheating effectively is like, yeah, how about that? I am there right now, and you can't do anything about it. Speaking of things you can't do anything about, the next question comes in from The Pan. By the way, I don't think I've said it yet. It's a bit too late in the video to do this, but let's go for an intro anyway. Hello, I'm IBX Toycat, and welcome back to Q&A Saturday. This is the weekly series where I answer your questions that have been asked over the last week or so. It's a fun series, and I do intend to keep going. Even, by the way, you know, actually, I'll ask the questions now. Question from IBX Toycat. So what's the deal with the whole Canada thing? Right now, as I record this video, still don't know. Waiting on an email that genuinely decides where I'm going to be in the next 24 hours. You know, what I'm doing when I wake up tomorrow is hugely different. It's either, you know, sat in a box by myself for 6 days, or it's getting on a box with 300 other strangers and flying to, I guess not 300. It's not going to be a busy flight, is it? It's a box of at least 100 other strangers and flying to the other side of the world. So who knows which one's happening? Better hope it goes well for me, huh? Actually, you know what? Here's an idea. Why is Q&A Saturday not a webcam-based series? And in case you're curious as to why I don't have my face cam, sorry, is the word for this. Partially, it's because I don't like looking at my own face. It's terrible. You're gonna get a comment about my hair now. Someone's gonna be like, Toycat, it's been 12 hours since you washed that hair. I can't believe that you would go so long, and or, you know, like something about just disliking the general appearance of it. I don't even know what even is hair, man. It's just strains of protein that grow from your head. Why are you so focused on it? Focus on my voice. Eyes down here, thank you very much. And the other reason is because I don't really want my face to be that famous. Like, being a famous streamer, it's cool. Like, people are only there because they want to see you. I feel like you don't want people who come to a video, maybe about to not like it, to see your face. That's my controversial take. Speaking of controversial takes, The Pan asks, for these, why do you use the dollar convention instead of pounds in the title? And this is on the Aether, has come to Minecraft, but it costs $11. A video which did very well, by the way. And to answer this question, there's two... Oh, wait, first of all, to answer your question that you have so kindly, I want to just say that the reason I use dollars is because everyone understands the United States dollar. It's the global currency, friend. And second of all, it makes a bigger number. $11 is just more impressive than £7. And so, yeah, the reality is that I think it's like more impressive and more understandable. And I think rather than trying to, like, because if I say £8, then this sounds dumb to say, but a lot of people are going to be like, what is that in real currency? I bet it might be cheap. You need it to be, everyone understands that dollars are, you know, like, everyone knows that there is a dollar menu at McDonald's, even if you've never been to America and or you've never been to McDonald's, right? Everyone knows that, like, $5 is, you know, like, these things have some explanation to everyone because of TV being so widespread from America, and so that's why dollars are a better universal currency. Also, just because I've always worked on the internet, I think I've said this before, I've never been paid for a primary job I've done on the internet in anything but dollars, so I basically live and work in America. Oh, I have an announcement about that coming soon. Not an announcement. I have some thoughts about that coming soon. If you want to stay tuned to the third channel for some walk and talks as I contemplate my entire future again. You know, it's sad. You know, like, it's real sad. I mean, like, look at this. I'm in a room right now. Wait, do you want to see the room around me? You want to see the room around me, don't you? So, as you can see behind me, it's actually just another green screen. It's green screens on green screens. But look, yeah, might be leaving this room again soon. We'll be sad. Or will it be? I don't know. You tell me, Internet. So the next question comes in from Valerius Castoros. Honestly, this looks like a potential lawsuit from the Aether developers and King Dogs himself, who is now a Mojang developer. This reminds me of that resource pack that got uploaded to Bedrock, which was originally Java, and it didn't have the original author's permission. By the way, fun fact, Faithful, I think it's Faithful, and Venom made a pretty good video on it, and like, my video featured in there, so a lot of people mentioned that. So, good job to Venom for the reporting thing. Just wanted to shout that video out, say that I thought it was well made. Went deeper even than my video did at the time that was just saying the developer lied and is very inconsistent. But to answer the question about the Aether, I want to put something on the record, which I also feel bad for missing. The Aether map I spoke about last week, I assumed because it was being advertised on the marketplace and they were charging $11 for it, it had to be official on some form or other. But no, King Dogs, who had developed the Aether, just said, yeah, they just used it without our permission. And it's crazy that you can literally steal from a Minecraft developer, King Dogs, one of the most famous ones too, and there's like next to no consequences for that. It seems very confusing stuff to me. But speaking of things that are confusing, did you know this wasn't even a real video? That's right, I'm actually on the... Oh wait, I can't green screen about my green screen. This wasn't even a real video. It was actually a goodbye, because yeah, I'm going to be leaving this little office behind for a month or so. Or maybe I won't be. Again, I'm waiting. I've never checked my email as frequently as I have now. Everything is on the wire right now. And as you watch this video, it's already been decided. So follow me at IBXToyCat to see life updates. And if you want to see Minecraft updates, subscribe to this channel. Perhaps some notifications turned on. I think we're not that far away from seeing the first snapshots. And because Bedrock is focusing on frogs and froglights, I think we're going to see something else entirely in the Java snapshots. What's it gonna be? Is it the new swamp? I think so. Let's find out in the next few weeks. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you all enjoyed. And I'll see you all in the next one. Unless I don't. Goodbye. Wait. Harrison. Do some explosion sounds as I say goodbye. Goodbye. No, that's dumb. Don't do the explosion sounds. Look, one more time without them. Goodbye. Wait. Can you take a witch face and put it over my face? And then, like, I'll say goodbye, but then it will like actually be a witch noise. Goodbye. This is why Harrison, comment down below. Harrison deserves to be paid more for the pain I put him through. Comment if you agree. Thank you for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. See you around. I won't actually. Bye. Oh, if the test comes back positive, Harrison, you might wanna. You've been in pretty close contact with me. I guess all of you might wanna self-isolate. Keep an eye on that. You have to follow me on Twitter now just to find out the results of that test, huh? Anyway, yeah. Goodbye.